Small Town Minds.
Welcome to Small Town Minds, a podcast about anything, everything, and I'm pretty sure absolutely nothing. Hey, Braden / Matt, you look a lot different today. They've come together and formed a new person here. No, we don't have them tonight. They both playing hooky. So now we've got Cliff. Cliff is also from our hometown, grew up in the same location, so we're not cheating here. We're still from the same small town in Tennessee. Now, the guys couldn't make it tonight. So, and what we're doing here, Cliff, we'll explain, is we're actually just rehashing something that we did with Braden. We recorded this whole entire episode last weekend. Don't know what happened. Just didn't get it.
Best episode you've ever saw. Everyone missed. So
yes, it was absolutely the best.
Explosions,
nudity, all kinds of fun stuff.
Full frontal. It was great.
But the thing is, I went to download it and it wasn't there. So we're just basically trying to retouch some of those topics that we worked on last week, so it's not all in vain. Really kind of a deal. So we're gonna kind of run through this list of what we did and what we talked about briefly. I'm sure Braden will probably want to highlight some more of this stuff next week when we do our regular scheduled podcast. But let's just run through all this again and kind of see where we're at with it. Scientists discover fungi in the Amazon rainforest that eats plastic. This is our feel-good story of the week.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I hope with everything I have that can solve some of the plasticide problems we have, and just plastics are bad.
They're bad, and they're plentiful. They're plentiful. They're all over the world, right? So, again, if they can find a way to replicate this and make it somewhere that they can actually put it to use on all that plastic, it would be great. But obviously, I don't think our majority of plastics ended up in the rainforest. Not the majority. I'm sure there is some, but that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so hopefully they can find a way to transfer that somewhere else. But who knows? The conditions might not be right. But it's a hopeful situation.
And somebody's got to make money out of it. So it's
it's going to be a lucrative situation, of course. It's funny. I was thinking about today. I was thinking about coffee. I was thinking about, back in the day, coffee was basically something everybody you got for free. You get it for free at work. You get it free at a gas station. It's just something people got for free. Somebody was like, you know what? Let's make people pay for this.
A bottle of water, a bottle of plastics. Right there, tied it back in.
But yeah, water. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, bottled water, I think when it came out was a lifesaver for a lot of places, like places that had poor water, like that. But yeah, it is sort of, we're probably relying that way too much. I would assume now, and especially now that we know that we have all these plastics in our skull and brains and shit. That's fine. Just put more in there. All right, up next, MTV Rewind. This is a website where a guy tediously went and took all of those music videos that came on MTV back in the day, about 93,000 music videos on there that you can go to this website, check out, and kind of relive that old heyday of the MTV era when the music video reigned supreme. Good times. I really enjoyed the stuff. Of course, I was really into music back in the day when they were making those videos, and they still make videos, but it just was more of an event, I think, back then. You had more of that premiere and the sort of countdown stuff and all that. It was just more of a thing. Again, you can still see plenty. You can see more, I guess, videos now on YouTube than ever. But why do you think that kind of went away? Other than YouTube, why do you think it just didn't work?
YouTube's a good option. MTV didn't stick with music. It was reality TV and crappy reality TV at that. I'm the TRL generation. I used to watch and vote every single day, And I watched videos all the time, but as soon as that was over with, it was reality TV, and that's Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Reality TV was the moneymaker for them. That's why it brought in all the revenue. And they're like, you know what? We're gonna do this. But it would have been nice if they could have kept it more. I mean, they could still had a few of those for revenue and kept more of that. Because some of that stuff was kind of cool. The behind the scenes stuff and the unplugged and all that stuff
Oh,
that they
oh yeah.
did.
I
Um,
enjoyed the MTV too afterwards for a long time because that was all music, and then it turned all into
they
reality shows again. So
Which and VH1 did the same thing, right? It
yeah,
was just
true, true.
it never really could stick, which is kind of interesting. It couldn't. It seemed like they could be able to consolidate maybe all of these music video channels into one and like keep it just strictly music and not just music videos, but again, music based like documentaries or something that was based because music is such a
Interviews.
part of
Yeah,
yeah. Music is such a integral part of people's lives, especially younger people. I feel like that it just seems like it would work on paper. Like it does, but obviously it didn't.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't overseas now. A lot of those channels they're actually going dark now. They're still keeping these open, I guess, for now, but I guess it probably eventually may end up going away as well. But yeah, if you want to watch those music videos, if you can't catch them all on YouTube or and all that, you can go to this website called MTV Rewind. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the SAVE Act, the wonderful SAVE Act um, that Donald Trump is pushing crazily. Um, the whole thing about him saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything until this is signed." I mean, such a bullying tactic. Now, I think the last I heard is that it did not pass the Senate. Is that what you heard?
Yeah, it's not past the Senate. It can't pass the filibuster. They've got to be able to break the filibuster rules. So right now there's not enough votes for that either. So
Okay, so unfortunately, we have a few months left, so anything can happen between now and election. And they're gonna, and if this doesn't work out for them, they're definitely gonna pull something else, I guarantee. But hopefully this. I mean, this was just a nightmare situation anyway. What they were wanting to do, and I don't know if you caught this recently, but he talking about mail-in ballots. Oh, they're so bad. Then he went and did it. He's such a
yeah, yeah.
he's such a contradictory person. It's just ridiculous. But I think that I mean, they're literally saying it. It's not even like I'm interpreting I don't have to interpret anything. They're literally saying, if we don't get this SAVE Act passed, we're going to lose the midterms. So what you're saying is if we don't cheat here, we're going to lose them.
Well, isn't it kind of the same thing with the original Texas redistricting?
Yes.
If
Yeah,
we can't
absolutely.
get these extra seats, we're going to lose the midterm. Eh,
Yeah.
I lean left. I do not care. I want everyone's vote to count. I want everyone to vote.
Mm.
Some people I don't feel should vote, but everybody should vote. I'm sure they feel like I shouldn't vote, but whatever. Everybody should vote. But, it should be easy for
Everybody
everybody.
should have the opportunity to
Yeah,
vote. Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. So what they did with Texas, then they went and did it in California, and it's kind of going to be back and
yeah.
forth kind of a deal.
Everywhere,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, with that. But um, yeah, I mean, it's just been pretty much since he took office a whole systematic plan to rig which is so ironic considering all he does is talk about how the election was stolen and all this. And he literally is trying to blatantly do it without even being sneaky about it. Like he's just telling you, look, we got to do this so we can win. Like I've never look. Obviously, I went through many periods of life where I didn't follow politics, but I don't remember anybody so blatantly saying this stuff where
no,
you can easily be like, oh, I know exactly what you're doing. You're not being sneaky or coy at all.
I'm no expert. It always seems like he says the quiet part out loud and just tries to put it on the other side all the time. It's that
Yeah.
looking from outside.
Well, yeah, it's all there. Again, you're not having to be. You don't have to be a detective these days. It's not like, let me find some stuff here. Um, and while we're talking about it, and so disgraceful, I thought, and this is something we didn't talk about, but something new was the Mueller guy dying and him saying, "I'm glad." That to me, like we had this whole big blow up about Charlie Kirk and people sort of, laughing about it or at least not, being a little bit rude about it. And then he says this. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like you make yourself look more like a dick every day, every single day. It's like, look, I'm not really an enemy loving person myself. I get enemies and stuff and all that, but you're the president. It's
Yeah,
like have just tiny sliver of like tact, and McCord and just be able to like not put your feelings for things out there in a way like that, because all that does is give people permission to be that way,
yep, yep.
right?
And say,
It's
well, look what they did. That's the
yeah,
whole.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What is it? Don't have anything nice to say. Don't say nothing at all.
exactly. No, I mean,
Sometimes.
it still holds true, and it's like if you went, it's like he's the leader, he's the office holder. If you went to your job and your boss was like fucking blah 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 blah, like saying the most insane stuff. I mean, if there's ever been a place that needed an HR department, I think the White House would be it.
True. Yeah, a little decorum would be nice, but
A little decorum, yes, absolutely.
I don't say
I don't
happen.
know. No, definitely not going to happen. But again, it's just more divisiveness. It just divides people even more. It's like it's crazy to see it out loud or just watch it in real time. All right, so I don't know if we want to talk about this or not. Braden knew more about it than I do. The bill about making the income tax free for people who make $75,000 or 75, yeah, $75,000 in income. You get that tax free. Then obviously you make more, you get taxed on that, and that's for couples. For a single individual, it'd be 32,200, or maybe he said 400. What do you think about that? I mean, that's a good idea, right?
Like Cory Booker, wasn't he the one that introduced that or whatever? Great idea. Once filibuster once again. We talked about that earlier. It'll never pass, but I love the idea. That would be great for the middle class. The lower class, everybody.
Lower class. I mean, especially. I mean,
If
yeah,
you make
let's.
less than 30 for sure, you should not. And if you're
Yeah,
under 18, you shouldn't get you should be tax free also. That should be cash in your pocket there until you're
I,
18.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, I mean, 30, 32. I mean, 32, 15 years ago was pretty good money,
Yep.
or pretty decent. Now it's like laughable, right? It's so
Yeah.
you can't expect these people to just be taxed to death and be able to survive. So it is a good idea. Anything more on that?
No, a great
All
idea.
right.
I hope
Yeah.
one day it passes. No
Yeah.
confidence, but
Yeah. No confidence at all. Anything about the war? Anything you want to talk about with the war and on all this stuff that's going on with Iran?
I think whenever we talked about it last time, the main thing I could have was it's crazy, man. There's no reason for this war. I, I have no words, honestly. It's a lot of the stuff I've saw and everything out of like Lebanon and everything has been horrible. It just I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just crazy. We should not be there.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously it's funny. He says we won. We're about to
No,
win. Yeah. Then we're sending more troops. They're asking for how much more billions of dollars?
oh yeah, yeah, and I
Was
can't
it
remember all the
20 or
names.
200? It was 20 or 200. I can't remember. It was a lot. It
I
was a
thought
lot.
was it not 80 billion? I thought it was 80 billion somewhere. Was it them
I
or was
might
it
have been.
VHS? I
It was,
don't
it
know.
was in the
Any numbers
billions.
tossed around.
Well, we'll just say, since we not know for sure, it's billions for sure.
Yeah,
They're asking for billions of dollars for this that we've already won, that we've won a long time ago. That isn't even a war. Kind of a deal.
just like 1,000 extra Marines the other day. So
Yeah, they're just there to chill out, to bathe in the sun, I guess. Um, yeah, obviously lying to the American people about it and not telling the truth of what's going on. Um, Again, we talked about the guy who said he was the guy for peace, said he didn't want to meddle in the foreign affairs and stuff and be at home and concentrate on America first. Remember I'm
oh
pretty
yeah,
sure that was a slogan.
oh yeah,
Pretty sure it wasn't a make Iran great again. So
yeah.
um,
Israel's been trying to goad us into this for 40 years. It's Iran's 2 weeks away from having nuclear weapons. Pretty well Israel or they've said that over and over again for 40 years, and they finally got somebody to join in.
to be stupid enough
Yeah,
to
be stupid
say
enough. Yeah,
it. Well, and we talked a little bit about the bombing of the girls' school and everything about how, and I said, like I understand, I do understand that if you're in a war, if you're doing stuff like that, there are going to be casualties and stuff. I don't think it was necessarily a tragedy. They were actually targeting them, but everything. But for him to say, "Oh, I think they did it,"
yeah,
say they stole one of our warheads and then they bombed themselves with it. Kind of silly stuff.
yeah. Just as soon as the
Uh,
war happened, it started. They took it from us, and then yeah,
yeah, that's what happened. I
I've
mean, I mean,
I've saw some stuff about like that maybe the girls' school there that got struck. Maybe there was something close to that, or maybe that place at one point in time had been
used to be. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, but should have had the data updated because that school had been there for a while.
yeah, right. Well, like I said, I wouldn't. I would like to hope that it wasn't targeted, knowing what it was. But
Yeah, yeah.
again, but to lie about it and try to put the blame is kind of that's just so disrespectful. The thing that's been coming out though is these Iran AI videos, and there've been like even more since the last time we talked. I mean, they're pretty fucking on point in some of them. Um, these Lego videos, and some of them are just AI, but I mean, they really, it's kind of weird because, like back in the day, say before our time, like with Vietnam and stuff, I would
Yeah.
say most of the stuff that people got fed was stuff from the TV, which was, you know, news from America. So you got that version of it. Not everybody obviously felt that way, and there was a lot of protests about it, but now we get to see like all the world views of everything, and so we get to see Iran's side of this and they're really painting fucking Trump and Israel as like really really evil people here. So
I don't. Right now, I feel like we are on the evil side. Oh, I don't. I don't know, and I don't like it.
well, look, I mean,
I can't say we've ever been on the moral side, but
when oil comes into play, I mean, it
yeah.
seems like it's always a situation. But I mean, imagine somebody bombing us. We would think these are the worst people in the
Oh yeah.
world. I mean, so how could they not really? I guess
Yeah. Oh
kind of
yeah.
deal. But they have the capacity to make these videos and stuff. So they're not like a war torn country where it doesn't have the capabilities of doing things. So
Yeah.
we're seeing it. So it's wild. All right. So and another thing that with the war, you were talking about Lebanon and stuff. They're bombing all these other places nearby and everything, and they blew up a facility that powers 1/5 of the world's gas supply.
Nice.
And doesn't sound like a good thing.
No, that sounds like prices might go up.
Sounds like it, yeah. Prices might go up.
Yeah, the problem is that how much more of this bombing of this infrastructure is going to go on. And how much longer is it going to be till that's back up and running at full strength and we're back to, can we get back to prices where we were at.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And that was the thing too, is
Yeah.
everybody complaining about Biden and the prices of gas and everything, and now here we are.
Well,
Right.
that
I
was a
mean,
Russian war. Russia started that war. That was we we started this one.
no, no, you're wrong. Biden started that one, and I'm pretty sure he started this one too.
Oh yeah, that was right. I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forget.
You gotta blame him for everything here. Okay. Yeah.
Gotta get the bomb.
So yeah, oil prices and all that stuff going to probably continue to rise. So not looking great. Um, and if he doesn't pull some kind of miracle out of his ass before the midterms and everything, this is not going to look good for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. You got some more?
You good? You good?
All right, let's go on to some more surveillance stuff, some more 1984 stuff. Traffic cameras, AI traffic cameras, watching every move that you make, controlled by Oracle. Steve Altman guy also was saying, what was he saying? Basically that, yeah, the goal is to watch everybody 24/7, kind of a deal. So these cameras, and now here's the thing: it's like, so they're going to watch you, and they're going to issue these citations. I mean, I just don't have this feeling that AI can do no wrong, you know.
Yeah.
So let's say you
Being trusted way too much already.
yeah, trusted way too much. Let's say that you stop, but they don't think you stop, and then 3 months later you get a ticket. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, to put that much control to AI is kind of crazy, I think. But here we go with just more stuff all the time. New cars by next year, 2027, all new cars will have mandatory federal surveillance tech.
That's crazy. No, no, no. Why? That's
Yeah,
makes
well, it gets shuffled, or it gets thrown out as safety precautions. This is the way that we're gonna. I mean, really though, it's like it's a way to take away your autonomy because
yeah. I mean, they've already got
uh,
our phones are in our pockets all day long anyway.
right.
Why do we have to track our cars now? Like it's
Well, it's going to scan your facial recognition, recognize drowsiness if you're obviously acting maybe intoxicated. I mean, all these different stuff. Um, yeah, and Braden sent a video that kind of showed like a little tracker kind of over the steering wheel, but they said that in future models they want to put it where you can't even see it at all, where it may be either in the dashboard or over on the mirror, but somewhere where you're just not really thinking about it. Yeah, but every new car after 2027, mandatory kind of a deal. Yeah, I don't like that. That's
I don't think I'll own one after 2027.
yeah, it's time to start going vintage for sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's a car.
yeah. I mean, it's just the amount of control, and Braden has talked ad nauseum about the Patriot Act, and all the implications that have happened since then, and all the sort of uh, freedoms that we gave up because of that. But now, why are we giving up these freedoms now? Why are we okay with this? I just,
If they don't tell us about it, then they
well,
don't
I
need
mean,
our permission, right?
well, right. I guess nobody got a vote. I guess it's just
Yeah,
like, we're
yeah.
going to do this. We don't care. But it's like, again, it's like, so you got all these different cars from all these different things, and they're all doing it. So but it's all going to where? It says federal surveillance.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, and they were saying something too, like AI can, they're going to get to the point where it's going to know when you're lying.
What was
Which is
what was that one movie where they had the uh, I can't remember, but this is the plot of a movie from the '90s. I know it is.
We're seeing a lot of 80s and 90s movies coming out in real time.
True.
You know, um, yeah, I don't like this idea of AI knowing if you're lying. I mean, what does that mean? Um, what can you how can it determine it? You know,
Yeah. Yeah. For with
and
100%, no doubt. That's. I don't trust the AI. I don't trust a person looking at me saying that.
right,
Yeah.
right. Well, they don't. I mean, if you take a polygraph, it's not admissible in court.
Yeah. Yeah.
With our greatest technology that we had before AI, it was never something that could be relied upon. So if you're taking AI at its quote word that
Yeah.
somebody's lying, I mean, I think that we may be incarcerating a lot more innocent people and just doing more nefarious shit with it. I could see that like becoming just a big, crazy fucking ordeal.
Someone could have a little bit of a panic. I've been pulled over. You get
Hmm.
nervous, even if you don't
No,
do, not do anything but speeding.
yeah.
Speeding.
Hmm.
You get nervous.
Hmm.
I know I didn't
Well,
act exactly the way I should, I normally would have at that point in time. So who's
right.
to say that I don't get taken to jail or get a worse ticket for whatever? That's crazy. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's like, why are we pursuing these technologies? Why are we going? Why are we
What's the
even?
need? What's the need? Yes.
Yeah, the need. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Speaking of AI, Val Kilmer, he passed away. Val Kilmer AI to star in a movie called As Deep as the Grave. It's
Oh,
already here.
yeah. Yeah, he's already in the grave. Uh, I'm not crazy about this idea. This should be for a new actor or an actor that's out there that's alive. But I, I guess it's kind of like animation to me. I guess that's kind of working, what I would think of it as.
Well, apparently, Val was set to star in this movie. That was kind of the thing, and I get that too. But I agree with you. It's like, I mean, he passed away. Let's
Yeah.
just give somebody else a chance to fill the role, kind of a deal. I mean, it just seems. I mean, I don't know if his family gave this the okay or whatever, but even then, you got people who cared about it was probably going to be disgusted about the whole thing. It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Hey, Hollywood was supposedly against AI, or they at least had some sort of limits on AI with all the strikes that they had and stuff. But this is just blowing it right open. And now, and if this is successful, you're going to see this all the time.
Okay.
If it
If
flops, maybe not.
if he signed up for it, I'm a little better for that. I I know there's a little trying to get weren't they trying to get contracts of people's likenesses for that just for that down the road or something?
Well, the last strike that they had, actor strike that they had, was the big thing was that
Yeah.
they had this uh, notion that this sort of epiphany, if you will, that, oh, hey, let's get all these background actors and we'll take scans of all their features and we'll use them in perpetuity throughout the rest of the time, as many times as we want, and we don't have to pay them. We pay them a lump sum and we'll be good. And people are like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just background actors. But when we get to this point where we're going to see, uh, and it's getting better all the time. I just saw one today. Kurt Cobain was fighting Axl Rose. I mean, it looked pretty good.
I would root for Kurt, but I say Axel wins.
I don't know. Kurt got the punches in, but he was pretty good at defending himself. But I don't
I,
know. I didn't watch the whole thing.
he's southpaw. He's a southpaw.
He is. Yep, absolutely, like me. Uh, okay. And last thing, I guess for now about AI is Bernie Sanders put out a video. He spoke to Claude AI and basically was like asking Claude all these questions about AI, and it was responding, and it was basically saying, yes, there needs to be limits and all these different sort of uh, you know um, guardrails put on AI, so
Yeah.
AI can acknowledge that AI needs to be in check. Um,
I agree with it. Yeah, that.
but I think the biggest problem with that is AI is becoming so much. It's such a clusterfuck. I feel like it's just like all over the place. You have so many different ones
Hmm.
that you know that you're going to have these sort of, I would say, rogue AIs, ones that aren't regulated by the government or checked in these balances. And so those are the ones that can probably, end up, doing nefarious shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going to be good. That's
Uh,
that's my take on it.
AI, it is interesting for videos and stuff like that. All this other stuff is very worrisome. It's like, who
Well,
has control of all this? What can it
yeah,
do? Yeah,
right, right. Well, and if you listen to horror stories, I mean, literally, like everybody has a different opinion about it, but they're saying within 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, for sure, that so many different changes are going to take place, and they're going to be a totally different world, really, because
yeah.
of it. Now, will it happen? I don't know, but they're really pushing for it. So we'll see.
For whatever reason,
Uh,
yeah.
well, I know here in my town where I'm at, I mean, there's one restaurant that has AI at the drive-through already, and the McDonald's is set to be completely converted into AI. I mean, as far as like they're going to do a whole remodel that's going
That means I will never shop there again. So
to.
I don't go through self checkout. That they should be
Well,
paying somebody.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people flipping the burgers and stuff. But as far as like
Yeah.
doing most of the stuff, most of the stuff that is deemed, uh, I guess, not really necessary for human uh, judgment, then it's going to be AI.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, moving on. 1991, NASA sent some jellyfish up to space for fun, maybe. They no, they sent them up there and they procreated while they're up there. A lot of them did. They really like it a lot. They made a lot of babies up there. So they brought all these back, um, and they determined that the ones that were born beforehand that came back, they're fine, you know, and the ones that were born there up in space and came back were off, had a lot of issues, had a lot of like issues with swimming and like equilibrium kind of thing, and just sort of a lot of maybe just bizarre things. So the take that they is that gravity is integral part of the process of being born. So this whole thing about going to Mars or to a different planet, the must, want, and goal and everything. We don't know if that would even be capable, or at least capable in terms of the way that we understand the way we are now.
Yeah. Well, or maybe, having babies on a different planet or something like that, or in outer space. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes. Colonizing it and like having them born there and what effect that would have on them.
I'm curious. You say jellyfish. Like something with a skeleton. I wonder if that might help a little bit about the gravity. I imagine that would be, the gravity should probably does a lot there. I have no clue. Not a doctor, not a scientist. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
It is interesting though. It is interesting because
yeah.
if we ever did get to that point, well, first of all, if we ever got to a planet, we'd have to have, if there is no gravity there, we'd have to have simulated gravity, right? I mean, we'd
Well,
have to
there
have something.
on a planet there would be gravity as long as it has mass. It has gravity. We have gravity, but the
But
bigger something is, so it as long as it's a planet close to Earth, it would be, we'd be fine.
do you think it would be the same? Do you think it would be?
I mean, I have no clue about that, but yeah,
Yeah.
that study with the jellyfish, that makes you think about that too. That what could we, what kind of messed up situation could we get into like that?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that one's an odd one. All
Yeah.
right. CIA had a possible cure for cancer more than 60 years ago, 1951. Some kind of declassified files maybe came about that kind of showed that they kind of possibly could have had one, and they classified it, didn't show it to people, kind of a deal. Um, this is really disheartening if it is true.
Yes. People for almost 80 years dying for no reason. I'm sure for
Not for no reason.
profits. I'm sure
For
this is
profit.
off the profit. Somebody this was going to cost someone money, and they had the power to put into it. I imagine that's my theory.
Well, I saw something. I saw something the other day. It was another. We're going to get to a lot of conspiracy shit, but this is kind of a conspiracy thought. Was that isn't it funny that now we're hearing all these different people saying that they might have a cure for certain cancers that just came out recently, and it all seemed to happen after the United States pulled out of the WHO. Like
Good. Yeah.
Big Papa took the guardrails away, and were
Yeah.
able to say, "Hey." Again, that I just read that online. That's just a total
He's-
conspiracy kind of a deal.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, if that was the case, and again, I just think that when we put our minds to something that we really want to do it, like with COVID, it can be done,
Hmm.
kind of a deal. I mean, we're learning now, and I'm seeing stuff because I've started looking at this stuff. I see stuff all the time that like, well, this will cause you cancer. Well, can lead to cancer. I'm like, well, that's literally every fucking thing in the
Oh yeah.
world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh, everything I ingest and breathe and everything, it's all at pretty much, So I'm like, we probably should work on that, if that's, that seems pretty detrimental to like human existence if you can actually work on getting that happen. Again, there are obviously some signs that people are actually doing it now. So
Yeah.
maybe here in the next 5, 10 years, we might actually have something, which would be fantastic. I mean, think of the lives we could save.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pentagon bars the photographers uh, from the meeting because they had some unflattering Pete Hegseth photos.
Like just bad angle.
You didn't get my.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta get the
Uh,
tats
yeah,
on the chest. That's what it was. They didn't get those.
yeah, yeah,
A little more
yeah.
oil.
Uh, I mean, again, why don't you make up a fake reason? Because that's
Yep.
just silly.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about this, and I've thought about this for a long time, really a long time, about old slavery versus the new slavery. How obviously back in the day there was slavery. I'm not talking about Civil War slavery that era. I'm talking about like going back to the pyramids and stuff. And if we believe that we actually created the pyramids, I mean there was slavery. There was just
Yeah. Yeah.
people have always been
A lower class that. Yeah.
a lower. Yes, it's always been classism kind of a deal. And it's basically saying that we think that we're sort of beyond that, but we're really not, because we fall into these traps. The first one is the debt trap, where we're inundated with debt, where we gotta have to be in debt. And when you pay off that debt, you're kind of having to get into another debt. And it's sort of one of those things where you're just
You you
always.
you own a home, you own land. Even if you paid it off, you got to pay some taxes. Every
Hmm.
year.
Yeah,
Or they're going to
yeah.
take your land back. Yeah. 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 You know.
I
Uh,
mean, it's never ending with the debt stuff, and that's how it works. I mean, it's the point is to get you in debt and keep you there, really,
oh yeah.
which keeps you doing what? Keeps you working, the work cycle. So if you're in debt or if you actually want to eat or something, you have to work and do all the stuff to live and do any sort of conveniences that you want for yourself, kind of a deal. I mean, is there ways around it? And there's some people that don't do it. Yeah, sure, but majority you're going to have people that are doing that, and that's again literally just something you do until you retire, die, whatever. I mean, it's just continually because it's just something that, as you said, taxes and stuff, they don't go away, bills don't go away. You have to feed yourself. The food always costs money; it's never free, kind of deal. So it's just always that taxes, tax chain, always paying taxes. We talked about that. Consumer trap too, where you're always having to, if you want things, you have to buy it. Anything that you want for yourself, if you have any sort of hobbies or likes, and things that you value or want, even trips or anything, you have to buy all that stuff. It costs a lot of money, so you end up in these endless cycles, kind of a thing. So how is it not slavery in its own little way? It is different. It's repackaged totally differently, but how is that not slavery?
Yeah, kind of a slavery to the system, kind of. Yeah,
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 yeah. Well, like slave to the grind, but literally,
yeah.
but where you really don't have much of a choice. You get in debt, you have to work to pay off these debts. If you don't, you're going to lose everything that you bought, or and all that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, could you go live on the street and be homeless? Sure. So I guess you don't have to, but in order to have any sort of the modern conveniences, you have to, right? So you don't really have that much choice. I mean, unless you are born rich or make it rich, and you get all those privileges. Again, you're in a class, and it might look like it's better than being a peasant, but really you're kind of there.
Yeah, kind of keep you down. You got to keep up with the Joneses, but at the same time, they're going to keep you down for all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see that as a form, as the new form of slavery. Of course, we got the prison system. That's still number one form we got in around here. But that's very much I very much feel that.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think it is something that we kind of have to. I mean, when you're born, you have to navigate life, and life from before birth till after death. It costs
Yeah,
money. It's a
yeah.
cost. You you are are having to pay your dues, if you will.
I saw like
Um,
indigenous people, like documentaries and everything. They always people say that with them, those people are so happy, and you get to spend time with family and friends all day, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
while you might
I
have a rough life, it apparently rewarding. So it
I mean, I
instead of
think there
us
are.
cooped up with our depression and
I mean, there are probably some advantages there. I mean, if you look at certain countries, some of the happiest ones. I mean, you'll see obviously that they work less, and they do value family and friends more, and it is more of that. I mean, that's the problem I think with America is the capitalist system. Not that the capitalist system is bad in theory. It's just when it is meant to keep a few up and so many down, and not give those people the chance to really get ahead and stuff. Again, when nothing works to the benefit of the lower people, when the costs of everything go up, but your wages don't, and you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
that's when it doesn't. That's when it doesn't work. I mean, I feel like we're still in the process of figuring things out, but I don't feel like the systems that we have in place right now. If you have people becoming millionaires and billionaires and stuff, and there's people who are on the street that can't eat, I mean, it just doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem like it's a system that works for everybody. It works, and it works for some people, but others.
everyone looks at a homeless person like they're gross. The gross people are the billionaires, the you know millionaires, the ones that hoard all the money. Those are the gross people. That's a
I mean,
yeah,
they're known psychopaths. I mean, they're
yeah,
known to
yeah,
be psychopaths, and they've done everything nefarious under the sun to get where they are and keep what they have. So
yeah. Like Rockefeller, and after the Great Depression and everything, wasn't it kind of common for billionaires to be out of favor? Like that was part of the reason why we have all these parks and shit named after you know
Hmm.
They had to put money out for the public, so that was,
Well, and I think that's something that should be expected.
yeah,
I mean, if you have all this money, why should we just say, oh well, he earned it? I mean, kind of a deal. He earned it off the backs of everybody,
yeah.
kind of a deal. And it's like you don't need that much money. I mean, if you have so much money that you will never ever spend it all, in a lifetime, there's really no need to not tax that or find some ways to make that be appropriated back to the world.
Oh yeah, a tax on that would be, but so many loopholes. But
Hmm.
they get to keep all that money. It's a
All that money. The more you make, the more you get to keep. Um, all right, moving on. The right is transvestigating Erika Kirk and Sydney Sweeney.
they
Um,
transvestigating.
Transvestigating, maybe thinking they're trans. I don't know what the deal is with that. This was Braden sent this one.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, okay.
I'm not
I don't
worried
know.
about anything anybody's pants if they were. Much power to
I don't
them.
know. I
Don't
saw
think.
that movie, The Housemaids. I don't think Sydney Sweeney.
No, that looks pretty natural.
I don't think that's what we're dealing with here. I don't know about Erica Kirk, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. And it seems kind of weird because
I would
the
be.
right.
I would be.
What's
I
that?
would be more investigating into her being the bride of Chucky. That would be.
Right of check. She is an interesting one for sure. And and we didn't talk about this, but she got she has a new title now from Trump. It's insane. Again, you don't have to have any sort of what I don't know knowledge about anything anymore. He just has to like you, kind
Yeah.
of a deal.
Hey,
Um,
DEI was killing the nation.
yeah,
Remember that?
yeah, absolutely,
We're gonna be run by Fox News.
absolutely.
We're good.
Yeah, as long as it's his friends, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's where we're at with it. But no, I just think it's weird that the right, these are their people. Not well, Erica Kirk especially is their people, but I mean, because that ad and the left got blown up over the ad with Sydney, the right sort of took her in for a bit, and now they spit her back out, or maybe because she didn't really want to be there. I don't think, but
Yeah.
but it's like okay, so now this is I don't know, it's just silly. All right, let's go into some conspiracy theories. Um, Larry Silverstein. Now, I didn't know much about this guy, but I have recently learned that this is the guy who leased the Twin Towers just weeks before 9/11. He leases the Twin Towers weeks before 9/11, puts in some terrorist insurance, which is that always on there? You check that box or something? I don't know how that works. Um, some terrorist insurance. I guess insurance being insurance, they don't want to pay, but they ended up paying him double, so he made $4.5 billion off of that one.
Oh wow. I didn't know all about all this. That's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's crazy, but the reason he's coming up now is because he just recently um, bought a skyscraper in LA, in Los Angeles, and people are saying, well, there's all these talks now about Iran retaliating on the U.S. in California, and here he is buying the tallest skyscraper over there. Guarantee you putting in some terrorist insurance.
oh yeah, yeah. Like like the flood insurance and all that, or fire insurance. Once happens a couple times. uh,
I just, yeah,
they're doing
it
this in
just,
reverse. The building was supposed to blow up and then the war. Wasn't that the way it was supposed to go?
yeah. That's so it's supposed to go. Yeah,
I
there's
seriously hope. I seriously hope this is just a coincidence, because yeah, that means
well, maybe.
more innocent people die.
I mean, maybe he's just having a hopeful thought for himself. Oh, I better
This building's pretty
take a
shiny.
gamble.
This building's pretty shiny. I better put some insurance on this thing. If I was some. If I was a terrorist, this would be my building.
Put a target on it. Put a bullseye. Oh shit. Well, that's I mean, we'll see. Maybe he's just being hopeful for himself, not for anybody else. Okay. So moving on. Now, there's been some stuff on the internet, and probably you've maybe heard some of this for a while, but Titanic being an inside job, which is kind of a wild one. These are some conspiracy theorists kind of a deal. And the thing is, they're saying is that some of the people that were on that Titanic that drowned were opponents of the Federal Reserve. And this also ties into like Kennedy too, John F. Kennedy. They're saying like he was opposed to certain things of the Federal Reserve too, and that was not. I mean, there's a list of reasons why they think Kennedy could have been killed,
Yeah,
but that
yeah,
was on there too. But the Titanic being an inside job, that's a little bit of a wild one. You think?
yeah. That is a wild one. Nothing surprises me whenever it comes to governments, but yeah, that take down a whole ship. Well,
Are we
the
known? Are we
buildings.
known to be Are we known to be the kamikaze country though? Because I mean, unless you got on the first ships, I mean, you went down, right?
Yeah, yeah, true. Uh,
Unless you're Kate Winslet, you went down. So
yeah, Jack.
that that
There's no room on the door for Jack.
mhm. That's I mean that seems like a gamble. That seems like I mean that's a wild one. I mean to me that would be something like if they were going to take them out, couldn't they just take them out like before they boarded or something? It just seems a little. But I
It
mean
seems
again,
it could be easier done with poison. It seems like the
that's true. That's true. Could have happened. Um, Maybe they poisoned them on the ship and then they had to ask for it. Oh shit!
overkill. Yeah. make sure them, make sure they're dead.
Okay, here's another one. The Illuminati killed Stanley Kubrick. Um, yeah, Stanley Kubrick, great filmmaker, made a lot of great movies. Um, really one of a kind of a guy. Uh, but the last movie he did was Eyes Wide Shut. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, The Eyes Wide Shut, it is about this sort of elite group of people who do these sort of nefarious things behind closed doors that normal people don't see. And that's what the whole premise of the movie really is about. And I rewatched it recently, and it, watching it again with this sort of in mind, it is kind of wild because there is one scene where Tom Cruise he gets this mask and costume from this costume store, and when he comes back and he's talking to the guy literally offers his daughter to him, really, like in sort of Epstein fashion kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't say it, but it implies it. So the theory is that what happened is, Stanley Kubrick died pretty much upon completing this movie. Like it wasn't released. He died supposedly from a heart attack, but they're saying he was killed because once after he died, 24 minutes of it was cut. Now, granted, as a studio, I mean, the movie's long after the cut. The movie's still over 2.5 hours, so it's
Yeah,
still a long movie. So to cut 24 minutes of it seems plausible from a studio standpoint. But as a theory, they're saying, oh, this was the stuff that they're really, when they really showed you the juicy stuff, or maybe really implied kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's a theory. It's a
yeah,
wild one.
yeah. That's interesting. Once again, government covering tracks. Though
I mean,
interesting
government
conspiracy.
or the Illuminati, some sort of nefarious group that's you don't really see. All right, so let's get to this now. Zeitgeist, the movie. Now we did this episode, and you hadn't seen it at that point, and Braden and I talked about it, and hopefully I can talk to him about it next time a little bit. But you've watched it now? Did you watch it?
Yeah,
Get a chance to?
Yeah.
All right, so you'll be
Listen
watching.
to it at least. I hit YouTube and headphones while I work all day, so that's usually uh
Well, that's really all you need. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
most of it was talking stuff. It wasn't a lot of visual stuff. I mean, stuff. All right, so we got three parts here. Um, the first part's religion.
I'd heard a lot of the story, the story of Jesus, through other people, the people before Jesus and everything, like Horus. I'd heard that one before,
Mhm,
from Egypt and
mhm,
everything. Uh,
mhm.
uh, I, I don't know if Jesus was a real person. I don't believe he was what everyone worships and everything. I'm not
Mhm.
very religious myself, so there, but yeah, I, I, I found it all interesting. I'd heard a lot of that before. When did you say that movie was from?
I think it came out 20 or 2007. Yeah,
That's it.
2007.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
I'd heard some of that stuff here and there. But
Mhm. Yeah, I've watched it a few times. There's a couple other movies that they do too that's pretty good as well. Different topics. Some of them are, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I no, no, I mean, I'm not religious.
yeah,
You know how I feel about
yeah,
religion, kind
yeah.
of a deal.
I was trying to say it the easy way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just so to me now, if you look at this movie, if you Google the movie, you'll find that it's been debunked and all
Yeah,
this stuff. But yeah, you'll have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt and think about who's debunking it. I mean, it says scholars and all this stuff, but there's a lot of Christian scholars. There's a lot of
yeah.
people out there that are religious. Religious people are going to debunk the shit out of this and
Oh
say
yeah,
it's not true because it's not in their favor, and they're going to say it's trash and all that. And I get that totally. And I do think that the filmmakers took a lot of liberties because I think that's what filmmakers do. And I think that when you do have a narrative to a degree. So do I think that they probably maybe fudged a few facts here and there? Probably so. But just looking at it as a whole, thinking about back in the day when we didn't have internet, we didn't have TV, we didn't have all this stuff. What did people look at? They looked at the stars. They looked at, I mean, this was a big part of their life. To me, it makes sense. It does fall into a like, that kind of does make sense to me. I mean, do I wholeheartedly think everything? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Um, as far as Jesus being real, I mean, you know, people
yeah,
debate that all the time. I mean, do I think that there's people who thought that they were messiahs? I mean, yeah, we've had plenty of them in my lifetime. So do I think that there was some back then? Probably. But my whole thing about religion and the Bible itself was mostly about control and stuff. But to think that it's not only just about control, but it's also about this, which again was from other religions too. Just, I mean, I mean, I think most people can kind of agree that it is sort of a bastardization of all kinds of these different ideas and religions. And like, if it's the word of God, wouldn't it be original? Kind of a
mhm.
deal. I
True, true.
kind of, I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. But theists will debate you to death about that and say, no, 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 that's a total horseshit. But I mean, I don't know. It does check some boxes for me. I think that it makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways, and it does give sort of a reason for a lot of the symbolism
Hmm.
and some of the things that they use in the Bible and references and stuff. So hey, if you get a chance, check it out with an open mind, maybe. But yeah, so that's part one.
I like the idea of the good and the evil, the dark and the night, the sun, the son
The
of
sun,
God,
yeah.
and then yeah, I thought
Which
that was
think about
all
it.
pretty neat. Yeah,
But if we can kind of try to think about back to freaking caveman days or something. I mean, what would be the most evilest thing? Would be when the sun goes down.
yeah.
You've lost your warmth.
You
You've
don't know
lost your vision.
you don't know
Your
what's creeping up on you. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
animals are coming out at night.
yeah.
It's definitely more of a terrifying situation. And we talk about generational like things that pass on, as far as like hereditary and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
think about all of those years of living with just that, where the sun is the salvation, because it is the thing that brings forth the light,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Which
Yep.
is a part of it, and it is the thing that brings that relinquishes the darkness, because the sun comes up and the moon goes out, and then you have light. And so it just, to me, clicks on those levels where it's just like, you know what, this makes sense. I mean, because
And anything
I,
else I've ever heard from a church, so.
I know, right? And this is the thing. We have to talk a little bit about. I mean, we're from the same small town in Tennessee. All of us, us who in Matt and Braden, and we don't. I don't think we're atypical of the town. I don't think we're going to be like representatives
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
necessarily. But uh, because it is such a small town, and there is such a sort of group think, I think, in a lot of ways about stuff. What is it? Why do you think that you didn't end up that way?
I don't know exactly. Didn't have a whole lot growing up. I had, I'll say it, Matt, older brother. We weren't raised together, so he had a rougher life than I did. I was raised by other families, so I got to see that
Mhm.
and a little bit of compassion, and then seeing other people having it as bad or worse than we did, and just compassion. I think is a lot of, and I'm not saying that those people don't care and are not compassionate, but towards a absolute stranger, sometimes maybe not, and
Selective
some
compassion.
and sometimes yeah, and I don't I feel like that sometimes. I'm not afraid of things I don't know about. I'm more curious about things I don't know about than I am afraid. If that makes
Mhm.
any sense.
Sure,
Do you
sure.
feel do you feel I feel like you're a little of the same way in that description also. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, yeah, for me, like, I wasn't indoctrinated. First of all, that was probably the
Yeah.
one plus that I had. I wasn't indoctrinated with it, so I was kind of left to my own devices to think of what I will and take away from anything when I will. I would say that, um, when I was younger, I was definitely more just definitely in the middle of everything. I'm not saying I am completely. I can't say I'm complete atheist, or like I don't, or I know what everything is, because I don't know. I think that's the point, that you can call it agnostic or atheist, but it's really just I don't know. I don't have any clue about anything in the afterlife, and therefore I'm not going to believe a book that you have. But to me, like, there's just no evidence that that book is going to give you the answers that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Now, but for me, the whole thing about, yeah, that I do see a lot of the sort of prejudice and stuff that you get with a organized religion, and all that stuff, and I don't think that's good. And I think that we see a lot of that the preachings and stuff that happen with that, get involved with that, sometimes ends up being negative or hurtful to other people. So that's not good. But I think that, I don't know. It just never clicked with me. It never made sense. It never was really something that I was drawn to. I get sort of the need for it to a degree. Like, I get the want of, like, having a purpose and having a reason to do things, and then sort of a motivation, and also like a thought of a second life or whatever. I
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
like that concept.
Yeah. It's
Totally get it.
comforting. Yes. The
It is comforting.
if I die right now, there's another life for me. I I don't know. I'm cool with the worms eating my ass. That's
Well, it's scientifically, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's all that kind of a deal,
yeah.
where it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and it never really did. I don't think I never was at a point where I was like, I am a religion. Again, I was definitely more open minded about it when I was younger. taking in all the stuff, and we were surrounded by people that were, of a like mind in this sort of vision
Yeah.
and everything. But for me, I mean, I don't know. I think music helped a lot too. I think that's a big thing we have in common, all of us. Music is something that sort of gives you a different perspective, and it kind of makes you sort of look outside yourself and put yourself in a different situation.
Well,
Um,
right there
but
with the music, you hear other people's stories, from different places, and you know,
yeah, mhm, yeah,
so
that's a big part of it.
yeah,
So, but yeah, we definitely are not the norm. I would say outcasts to a
yeah,
degree. I know I was definitely outcast, but
yeah,
outcast in this train of thought because you're just not really um, commingling in that form with the majority of the people.
yeah.
So it does give you like a little bit of a sort of different perspective. Yeah, so that's part one. We'll go. Let's go back to the movie. The part one was religion,
Yeah.
and so that's a while, and that's a big part of it. But yeah, I think that's it's a good thing to look at. Part two now. Part two, we're going with 9/11. Now, there's always been some conspiracies about 9/11
Go back right with your with the insurance case a minute ago.
insurance
Now,
case. Yeah.
now that was pretty wild. I never saw about the liquid metal underneath and everything of the rubble and everything, and about how everything was, the concrete was like just crumbled, like what
Mhm.
was it, the thermite, or what they were saying that could have possibly been used or something.
Yeah, that all the bombs happened first, blew it up, kind of a deal, and that there were definitely specific reasons for this thing to happen.
Yeah,
We had that there was an agenda, um, kind of a
we,
deal.
we've talked before. I try to stay out of uh, conspiracy theories and stuff like stay out of the weeds, and that was pretty, that was pretty interesting. I don't have a clue if that's any truth to it,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
yeah. No clue either. And you wouldn't know. I
yeah,
mean, you would unless you're on the inside. You wouldn't know, kind of deal. But it's an interesting thought. Again, if you don't trust your government, I mean, you could say this is a possibility,
yeah,
kind of a deal. Which I mean, is it possible? I mean, probably. I mean, again, because you look what you got. Look what you got. I mean, you got the Patriot Act, which we're still we're still dealing with it.
hmm,
So it's still here, and you got to go to war, get some stuff, get what you wanted over there, kind of a deal.
yeah,
Pay back for daddy,
hmm,
right? I mean, so I mean, there are. I could see it being a scenario where it could be a thing. Again, do I agree with all of it? I don't have the all of the information to say this is what happened, but I
yeah,
mean to look at it as a plausibility. I mean, like you said, it is a total conspiracy theory, absolutely 100%. But um, you know, up until this administration, where they literally tell you everything and kind of lie about it, but then tell you everything,
yeah,
there have been secrets. They didn't tell the public shit. So there's a lot of things that happen that we don't know about. And there's things we find out about later and you go, oh shit. Um, that we talked on an earlier podcast about MK Ultra and all that stuff and all the
oh,
things that, it's like you find out all this stuff that the government does to people or countries and all this thing and go, well, would I put it past them?
yep, yep.
That's the question. And the third one was about the Federal Reserve.
Hey, we tying all back in the whole podcast here.
Yep. Yep. And that this is the reason that the other podcast didn't go through, and maybe this one too. Um, the the Federal Reserve. A lot of wild information about how it's not even really legal, not really even a thing. That they kind of just push the narrative to it. Um, I don't know. What do you think about it? I mean, I do know some people who don't pay taxes. and don't get reprimanded for it. But again, but then you look at people like Wesley Snipes,
Mhm.
who obviously did go to jail for it. I mean, I think that was just maybe because he was making a lot of money that he was never paying in, and he was also a celebrity kind of a deal. Well, they'd probably want to make an example out of him, kind of a deal. Uh,
I've heard
but
of people getting out of it. I always thought that was just a rumor that I did. Death and taxes. I thought those were both certain. I had no clue. Yeah. Yes.
yeah, I mean, I think it is a thing that you can do. I'm not saying I'm not vindicating it for everybody, but I'm just saying it's just it is wild um, that they might pick and choose of it. I mean, but if they have no trail of you, I guess there's really nothing to come after, right?
Yeah. True. True.
But I'm not even talking about under the table. But I don't know. I mean, do I think that they could pick and choose randomly to make an example out of somebody? Probably. But did they let probably some people slide? Probably. But again, the whole thing about the Federal Reserve not even being a part of the government, it's just banks, really, like all this that are controlling
Yeah.
pretty much the world.
Wasn't it all the banks got in to make all that and aside? Yeah.
Mhm. Well, the whole thing is you talk about the debt, the debt of America and all that, saying that, we have to pay back the Federal Reserve and all this stuff. And it's just so, it's almost like a kid's game. It's like we made up this fucking bullshit scenario and stuff. And I
Yeah.
saw something too recently about how gold, used to be the standard, obviously, and then it just changed to paper money, which is made up bullshit. And then and it's been it's been decreasing. It's been on a
Pretty
decline.
pretty well. We've been in debt since 1800 since we went away from that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're decreasing any here.
No.
So that interest rate, which is by who? The Federal Reserve.
And pretty much everything that the Americans pay in, that's just we just pay the interest every year, right?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is is fucking crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's again, and that's could be another conspiracy theorist. We don't have all the, but still, it's interesting to watch. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It made me think I'm going to try not to jump down any of these rabbit holes, but I you never know what this YouTube feed might.
Yep, I guarantee you can see a bunch of them now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is a wild one though. But yeah, that movie, I would recommend that movie to anybody who's has a little bit of an open mind. Kind of check it out and see what you think.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the Federal Reserve, and one of those people was J.P. Morgan. And we're going back to the Titanic thing. So he was supposed to be on that Titanic ship, canceled last minute. Canceled last minute. And going back to the Larry Silverstein, who bought the Twin Towers, they said he had. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was lunch or breakfast. He had a meal there every day, but he skipped out on 9/11.
Mm, good timing for both of them, I guess. Yeah.
Just some good, yeah.
Guardian angel. Yeah.
it,
Well, we gotta believe.
it just feeds that fire,
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just feeds
Yeah.
the fire. It's like,
Like,
whatever.
damn, why couldn't these SOBs take it? We couldn't let that one grandma stay.
Right? J.P. Morgan is in hot water now with Trump because they once with the riots and stuff, they apparently dumped him, which is interesting. But I guess he's suing them and all this shit. So I don't know. That's wild. Um, moving on. Switzerland breaks 400 years of neutrality in a sense. They're not going to war or nothing, but they've been notorious about sitting out everything, just saying, we're good. We're not going. We got no comment. We're the no comment. We don't want to be involved in anything. Even during World War II with the Nazis, like, nah, we're over. We're cool. We're not going to do anything. Apparently, one of their ambassadors or administrators or something came out and called out the U.S. and Israel for war crimes that's going on in Iran. So they said, wait a minute, hold up.
Nazis, not that bad. I was joking. I'm just joking. That's not what I meant. That's what I meant.
But you guys,
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. I guess bad whenever they're speaking out on it. It once again, it's bad all around. Shouldn't have happened. And
well, okay.
causing more
If you
shit.
look at right, if you look at the war in Ukraine, I mean, when we saw Putin attack Ukraine, what do we think?
Uh, Somebody's trying to take over a country. That's a war of aggression there. That's.
It wasn't looked at favorably for
Yeah.
Russia, was it?
Yeah. No. No. No.
So, you know, if you're some other country, if you're uh, Britain or whatever, and you're looking at this and you're seeing France or whatever, you're seeing, well, America just bombed Iran. Like they flipped the coin and bombed the country. I mean, the Venezuela thing, take it for what it was, kind of wild, but still pretty slick, pretty boom done kind of a deal, right? We're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about a full on excursion. I don't know what it's called. What's it called? Something
We
about
we
war.
4 weeks in. It's a war now. Come on. We 4 weeks into it.
It's just some exercise, okay? We're just seeing what can happen. Uh, to do that, I mean, obviously, I mean, yeah, you're going to have some people saying, "Hey, I mean, this is not right."
Yeah.
Especially since we don't really have a definite reason, do we? Not
Not
definite, other than
nothing.
mass
Yeah.
destruction,
Yeah.
weapons of mass destruction. Yes, that kind of deal. So
Playing the hits.
that's why. That's why in hits exactly. Um, Dodge Doge kids depositions. Did you see that? Now,
I
brave
watched
assault.
today. I watched those today. That was.
Okay, okay. What do you think? What do you think about that?
It sounds like they didn't even do anything. One guy, I think, got $150,000, and the only thing he did was just type in prompts to Chat GPT, and not even good prompts. And if it was DEI, and that
Yeah.
they can't,
Well, so
they canceled all that. Yeah,
right, they were just looking for buzzwords. They were looking for words with the like LGBT, BTQ, that feminism, some sort of word, and when they come up, they would cancel the funding.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this was literally nothing but just a prejudice like overhaul of like let's get rid of this. They probably didn't even look at it. They're like, okay, got that, check, boom, get rid of, boom, boom, boom. Not even looking if it was necessary, or if it was something that was helpful, kind of a deal.
I
Just thought.
saw, I saw that there was a air conditioning system that got canceled because it was DEI.
What?
Yeah, they canceled some air conditioning. It was for a museum, to help keep uh the art and everything. The weather in there exactly right, and something it flagged it DEI somehow, and they canceled. uh,
This looks like a black museum. Cancel. Yeah. Yeah. I just got an alert recently. Guess what? My Social Security on the dark web. Thanks, Doge.
mm,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. So I'm gonna have to pretty much monitor my shit all the time now because who knows what could happen. Uh, Again, this was a nightmare. There should be charges against
Oh
this
yes.
shit.
There will never be, because
No,
I have no hope in anything like that. But there needs to be. There was.
I mean, what a shit show! What a shit show of just literally going in there and causing a disruption that they had no business being a part of. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it just irritates the shit out of me.
I,
Um,
I was trying to think of words too, and I was like, I wasn't thinking about Doge tonight. No, no, no.
I, I got I got nothing but curse words for you. That's all I got.
What rating is this?
Yeah, we say fuck every now and then.
I,
It's okay. Up next, Peter Thiel has a secret Antichrist meeting near the Vatican. Peter Thiel with his secret meetings. I think Braden said that he had this before. Did this with somewhere else, but a secret meeting about the Antichrist. This guy
is he
is,
trying to bring on the Antichrist? Trying to figure out who he
I
is?
I don't even know at this
Do
point.
we, do
Maybe.
we, do we need an Antichrist app? We need a. uh,
Location of Antichrist.
yeah.
Uh,
There are 3 Antichrists in your area. What you?
so to add to this, recently, I guess the Pope is having some meetings of his own about Satanism, about the rise of Satanism. I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. Satanic Panic Part 2, 2.0. Like what? What? Really?
I hadn't saw anything about that. Yeah.
I don't. If he's like, well, if he's going to talk about the Antichrist, I better talk about Satan.
I
I
don't.
don't know.
I don't know anything about Satanism. Like, what is it? What is the church? The of
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're
like,
talking about the
there was
Church
one.
of Satan,
There's one. It's just pretty much kind of trolling Christians for
oh,
Christians.
that's the Church's temple.
Okay, yeah,
The not the Church temple, the Satanic temple rather.
there you go. There
Sorry.
you go.
Yeah, the Satanic temple. Yeah, what I like about them is what they'll do is they will take advantage to any laws that where Christians try to bypass their own shit. Like with Tennessee now, where Tennessee's saying, "Oh, we want to put prayer and stuff in school." Well, I guarantee you the temple would be there saying, "Okay, well, we're going to have our own prayers." Kind of, it is a little bit of a troll to kind of do that. And with statues and stuff, if a statue or the Ten Commandments go up, then they want to put a statue of Baphomet there. They want to kind of do that.
Just to kind of show the hypocrisy. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, which is good. I'm all for that. I'm all for like, if you want to do freedom of religion, which they don't, no, Christians don't want to do at all,
Yeah.
most of them, then you need that kind of a deal, which is where this country is founded on freedom of religion. Like,
Yeah.
People say it's a Christian nation. It definitely is not. Founded on the freedom of religion. So if you want to do that, totally fine. Absolutely. But then we're going to get to do this too and come in and do all that and shake it up. So yeah, that's cool. But if you're talking about the satanic,
Yeah, see, I'm familiar with that one. I'm not familiar with all the rest.
yeah. Now the original one, the anti-LaVey one. Now that one was more about self-preservation and just being more about. It really was more about just taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, not hurting people really, but being aware of what they called psychic vampires
Gotcha.
and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Still going on, not as heavily practiced today. That one came out in 1969, I believe it was, or maybe it was 66, 69. But it still is a thing, but it isn't as big. I think the temple is way bigger now because they became tax exempt. That was the thing that made them really over,
And,
But yeah.
and Antoine guy with a bald goatee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was. I think his daughter's running now. I think that's the case. But yeah. Yeah. So look for the Antichrist coming soon. All right. So every time we talk about Tennessee bills, because Tennessee has the stupidest bills. And I know you're not in Tennessee, but you're close enough, and you've been here, you've lived here, you know what it's like. I once had a newspaper I clipped it. It said Tennessee may allow eating roadkill. This is kind of this was
Yeah.
like way back in the day when I was like a teenager, I think. So
Yeah.
they've always
It's illegal. I remember when it legalized. I've not taken advantage, but I know people have.
I'm just saying. But now we have all these really really crazy, way crazier than that bills kind of deal always coming on. So the thing that passed the Senate recently was the Tennessee bill targeting non-English drivers. So what I don't get about this is okay. So basically, you're saying they catch you, you don't speak English, you get your license suspended,
By
and
ASF.
then they by somebody, and then what you may be able to get is maybe like probably what I would consider like a work permit, maybe kind of a deal,
Yeah.
which would be a truck driver license. But I thought this was mostly for truck, but it's not. It's not. I guess it's for everybody. If they catch you and you can't speak, which it's like this is a country that we don't all speak English. I mean,
No.
I get that's our national language, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why
Just
are we
more prejudice.
more prejudiced? Like
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Again, if it's a bill that makes you scratch your head, I guarantee Tennessee thought of it or they wanted to.
Oh, yeah. I feel you. We've had a Democratic governor here, and that's the only reason why some of the bull crap hasn't got here. But we're
I
getting
know.
we're getting we got the school vouchers a couple of weeks ago, even though we voted against it. So it's
Oh, really?
yeah, it passed the Senate here in Kentucky. So yeah.
Well, that's got to be hard, but at least he's maybe helping a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's,
A few years ago they passed, so he has no power.
oh,
They
okay.
they override him all the time now if they want.
Hmm. See, isn't that interesting that you have a state where the Congress can overpower the governor, but then you have a country where the president does whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
Hey, the same party in power both times. So might be
there
the
you
key.
go.
Might be the key.
There you go. Braden sent this thing about going from, I guess it was going from the 2K promise with the tariffs. Remember that was the thing,
Oh
going
yeah.
down from that to 100, or I'm sorry, $1,020 per person, and then an extra 120 per child, kind of a deal. And what I told them is basically is like I can see this happening right before the midterms, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Getting pushed out there to make people go, oh, my
Oh,
president gave me some money.
yep. That makes sense. Gotta butter them up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But other than that, if it wasn't a midterm year, I don't think we'd see this at all. I don't think it'd be talked about.
Yeah,
You know,
I've
if
been
I,
wondering what was going to happen to that money.
oh well, yeah. What did happen to all that money anyway?
Yeah.
Really, let's be faced. Yeah, it went into some pockets, didn't it?
Yep. Oh yeah. I figured. I honestly assumed that the the like all the stores and everything that we bought everything from would be get to collect all that money.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Not actually distributed to us. I didn't think it would come back to us.
Well,
It's just
well, I mean, in theory, I mean, if you were paying back, it would go to it should, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
you're right. Even if it did go from one tier to another, it wouldn't go all the way.
yeah.
For sure. But how would that even work? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Don't have a clue. I mean, for me, like my daughters, they like some of that stuff, anime stuff, so we had to buy some of that stuff for it. So I paid some tariffs in
Oh
that
yeah,
in that regard. I know people who do a lot of that, Alibaba and Shein and all that stuff that they
yeah.
pay. Yeah, if they're still doing it, they pay. They're paying those tariffs and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
I looked. My son got a gaming computer for Christmas, and I should have bought it 3 months earlier, and it was over almost $100 more in that period of time. So that,
Wow. Well, Nintendo is suing the government for this tariff shit because obviously it's making them having to probably lose some business here. So
yeah,
yeah, not cool, not cool. All right, let's talk about Kash Patel for just a little bit. Kash Patel ordered the FBI not to investigate the murder of Charlie Kirk. We'll go into another conspiracy theory a little bit. Why would you not investigate a murder?
makes no sense. You should, yeah, it should be investigated. Even they saw the dude and he signed a confession, it should still be completely investigated. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's a cover up here.
No,
That's when the conspiracy theories start. Like,
well, I mean, you got Candace Owen here who's saying all
yeah,
kinds of stuff about Kirk and how it just doesn't add up. I mean, she
yeah,
says a lot of wild stuff, though. I
oh,
don't know. But, every now and then the clock is right. So I don't know exactly where we're at with that.
yeah,
Um, it is weird that any any investigation to be stopped,
hmm
to be like, you have to go like, well, what's the reason for this? If it's not
no,
like,
nothing to see here. Yeah,
if it's not investigated, it does seem suspicious.
yeah,
So he's a little sus. And the other thing with Cash, he confirms that the FBI is buying your location data. That's fun, huh?
yeah. That's nice. I didn't think they're not allowed to collect it. The government's not allowed to collect ours, right? But they can buy it. Isn't that
They
right?
can buy it.
Yeah,
That's probably the loophole, right?
yeah, yeah. That's neat. That's neat. I like they can do that. I'm proud.
Now I didn't see where they were buying it from. But
Yeah,
are they buying it from an app? Are they buying it from Google? From what I mean? From Apple?
yeah.
What are these sources exactly? But yeah, buying our location data. That again, that's one.
What?
1984.
Yeah. Once again, why? Why?
To know where you are at all times. The whole thing about being a better person when you know you're being watched and monitored, kind of a deal, is scary, isn't it? It's like, yeah, why would you need to know where everybody is at all times?
Yeah. Oh, dude, we're in scary times.
It really is. Like it, because when I think back to the days of uh, not even before I was young, but like if you look at like what the '70s and '80s had, I feel like there was definitely more of a way to just survive, just to do things. But be- between that time and now, we've went through all this periods of red tape where they've done all that stuff, but now it's gone beyond the red tape of getting things that way to just literally watching everything you do, monitoring everything you do. I mean, these conspiracy theories sometimes, you go, wow, it feels like some of this stuff is coming true. This New World Order shit where it's like everything's under
Yeah.
the fucking thumb. I don't know. It is scary. You're right. It is. It's one of those things where it's you when all this is totally implemented, which a lot of it is already. We already know our phones listen to shit, and not just the phones, but the laptop and the
Oh, yeah.
fucking TV when it's turned off and all that shit. If you don't have a
A lot
tube
of that stuff,
TV,
even when it's turned off, it can be used if they want to use it.
no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even when it's turned off. So unless you have a tube TV, and you have a fucking flip phone from the '90s,
Yeah.
you're probably getting monitored here, and that sort of stuff we take it for granted because it just kind of is part of life. But once it becomes a thing where literally everything you do and say is being watched. I mean, what's that do about comedy, about growing? Like
Yeah.
I think about teenage years and
Yeah.
youth and just being silly and saying the dumbest shit. What's that Green Day song? It's off of Dookie. I can't remember the name of the title, but it's like It's about the guy blowing up the place because
Oh yeah,
he
yeah,
fucking had it, having a blast, having a blast. You couldn't do that anymore.
yeah.
I feel like you start singing that song and you're going to get on a list.
I saw a thing about you talking about youth and everything. Kids now go to bars and stuff, or if they go to bars, but if they're out, they don't want to dance now because they're worried that someone's going to take a video of them.
Oh
Which
my God.
I,
Hey,
I I
look,
can't dance anyway, but that was the least of my worries. So you wanted a video of me, go for it.
do you know how
Yeah, yes,
fortunate I am? Do you know how fortunate I am that my karaoke days are not
true, true,
recorded?
true.
Because let me tell you, now that period was like you had the phones. Yeah, you could take a video, but it was like that grainy old, shit.
Yeah,
Nothing you'd post.
and you're not posting it right then either. It's not going
No,
live,
no, no, no,
and
no,
then
no, no.
millions of people are going to see it afterward. Yeah,
No. So could I find one probably on an old phone? Maybe, but it wasn't like it is today. If I was if put the technology today 20 years ago or 25 years ago even, oh my God, forget it, man. I don't want to be a part of it. No, I don't, because it's just um well, it is embarrassing, but it's not only that. I mean, it can there's no telling what can happen with it. So people are kind of probably on their best behavior in a way because they know they're being watched and they could be watched or they could be filmed at any time. Kind of still, I mean, it still happens. People still do things, dumb things. When people start recording, I'm like, why are you still doing it? You know, people are recording.
yeah,
Kind of, at this point, but it still happens. But I don't feel like it probably happens as often.
yeah.
All right, a couple more things. Two more things. The U.S. government purchased aliens.gov and alien.gov, and a congressman says that NASA's hiding all this info on it. So, I mean, I feel like in the last 10 years, we've really got a lot of exposure about aliens and saying like they're real and they could be real and all this stuff, but it is probably in baby steps kind of a deal. What we're learning, what we may, uh, who knows how much we'll ever get to know as far as like all that stuff. Obama said aliens are real, but he's never seen one, and they're not in Area 51 and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
um, what
I
do you
think I think
think?
I think whenever they asked Trump about Obama talking about that, he's like, what was he said? He's like, he wasn't supposed to say that. That's classified. So it very well could be real now. We
Yeah, yeah.
uh
I mean, we could have. I mean, sometimes when I think about the technology that we have and how we came about it, I mean, it could be alien engineered, reversed, kind of, or some sort of deal with that. I mean, if you think about it, it's like we've had AI, some version of it since the 1950s. We've had, I mean, even the internet stuff, this whole capacity to do these things that we do now. It does seem kind of wild.
yeah, and it
Uh,
came on so fast too. You know,
hmm
million years of walking around, and here the last 100 years we're flying, and what
Yeah,
AI doing everything else we don't want to fucking do in the world. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look back at look at the Terminator and stuff like that. It's like we think, oh, well, these guys were visionaries of just creating science fiction. Was it, or was it literally just a playbook of the future?
yeah.
Like they.
There's literally a Skynet. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's a factory. There's a company out there called Skynet
Let's see.
right now. They're just asking.
Why do we do this? Why do we do this? I don't know. I don't know. But it is weird that the government would purchase these aliens.gov and alien.gov. Just kind of kept getting in there before somebody else steals it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, what are they going to put on there? I wonder.
New branch of the government. It's got the gov on there. Like,
Yeah, this is their first alien congressman.
yeah,
I don't know. That's wild. Last thing is we're talking about this, and this is a part of it. The Russian troops say the Terminator style AI robots are already deployed in Ukraine. Again, why do we do this to?
I wonder what the robot is. I wonder. It's scary if there's actually something on the battlefield like that. But I know they got the drones. I've watched a lot about the drones and everything.
They definitely they've had the drones for a while, but the robots. I mean, are they carrying weapons? Are they just there to kind of blockade stuff or like maneuver, push through kind of a deal? I don't know exactly, but that's what they're saying. The Terminator style, that sounds like weapons, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Out kicking ass. Yeah.
So we learn nothing from science fiction,
No,
right?
no. What was it? Didn't our first lady? Didn't she just have a meeting with a robot with a
Had a
robot?
robot come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to convince that robots are going to teach people,
Yeah.
which I'm like,
I don't like that. I don't like the AI, talking about AI teachers and all that too. Some things I can see it being a shortcut maybe and not tie up a teacher, but you
yeah,
know, person on person learning, I think is a better way to
you
go.
don't want that. You don't want that coldness. I mean, you don't.
We
It's
we taught kids through COVID. We had to sit there through the Zooms and all that kind of stuff.
mhm.
You don't learn like that. Not as well anyway. I don't believe.
No, not as well for sure. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. The last thing I'll say is we were talking about Melania. I did watch that documentary, Melania,
Oh
so you
Lord,
don't have to.
I feel for
So you don't have to,
you. You're a brave man.
and nobody else has to. I will tell you, it was worse than what I thought it was going to be. Like it was terrible, and
Oh,
not
it's the
only just
#1
terrible.
documentary.
Number one, baby, number one. Oh, yeah, and there was the thing that he said that people are getting. There was something on Craigslist where they were giving people $50 to go watch that movie, uh,
I,
paying to watch.
I don't think I
Yeah,
could do $50. You could have got $50. You sat through
I
this.
should have. I
You sat
should have.
through this
Yeah.
shit for nothing.
Um, I know I'm a dude. Um, well, I thought, you know what I thought though? I thought it was going to be like this real spin of like trying to trying to make it seem like she was, you know, a great first lady. And it really was so dumb. It was like, I mean, not only was it just like bad as in like bad content, but it was bad filmmaking. Like it was literally just like most of it was just her trying on dresses and shit.
I heard it was a lot about fashion. That it
It
was
was
just.
it was like dumb shit like that, and literally like it was leading up to the inauguration of his second term, and it really didn't have any substance, and I don't feel like it really had a point or plot. It was, and it really didn't even put her in a good light or anything. It just was just like, well, this is a first lady who can barely speak English, who's making some words out, and blah blah blah, and singing some Michael Jackson, which I mean, Michael Jackson. I mean, there is that whole, accusations there. So I don't know if that was the best choice, kind
Yeah.
of a deal. I'm not saying, so I
Yeah.
don't know, but it was bad. It was really, really bad. So if you want to go to sleep, maybe that's an option for you. You know.
I, I'm proud that you made it through it, and at the same time, I'll never fucking do it.
Well,
Well, it's,
I do I do the brave stuff for
uh,
people,
uh,
so they don't have to do it. Yeah, but there's nothing to report there. It's just terrible. So, all right, man. So we've covered everything that we had last time, and everything is good. Hopefully we can upload this, and hopefully it actually goes through. I'm going to do everything that I normally do, which is what I did last time too. But we'll see. And if it does go through, hopefully, we'll be able to come back next week and do some more new topics. But I appreciate you coming on, man, and coming back and redoing this with me. I know it was a pain in the ass. I was really upset when it happened, when I when I was like, where is it? And I didn't get any help from the company. They basically just said, it didn't happen. It didn't exist. We didn't really do it. I'm like, really? I'm pretty sure we did. So anyway, all right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, we'll have you back again for sure soon.
All right.
All right. All right. Till next time. Peace.
See you.